It's compelling, it's cutthroat, it's chaotic, it's clever, it's controversy and chaos, baby.
Now you can see my tan lines for real, for real.
Oh yeah, I can see on the shoulder. Yeah, you definitely got toasted.
Wait,
Oh yeah, toasted.
fucked. Yeah, peeling, baby, peeling.
When it heals, it's gonna look so good. When it heals, it's gonna look so good. A little shimmer. We're like, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
look at me. Little
And we're
body
gonna be
gloss.
sitting poolside.
I cannot wait to go to
Yep.
somebody's pool.
Yep.
The
We got
way
options.
I want to be at a pool, I
I
cannot
want to
wait.
be a pool.
If I could be a pool, I would be a pool. Like I just want to lay out, relax, tan, and that's it. I wish I could be like a beach reader.
What?
But a beach reader. You know how people go to the pool or the beach and they bring a book and they just sit there, they relax and read. I cannot do that.
Yeah, no.
And just like sit, it seems very peaceful, like the sound of the ocean, like seems very peaceful. But my brain cannot slow down enough to like really like read.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not a reader. I'll
I
pop that
can't,
audiobook in.
baby. That audio books in me. Give me the audio, like
I'll lay poolside and listen to my audiobook
yeah. Give
and
me a
scroll.
cute little drink. Audiobook
Mm-hmm.
on. I can scroll Pinterest while I'm reading my audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Like, I think Pinterest is such an underrated app. It is
It
such
is.
an underrated app. And it don't get enough credit because I could be on Pinterest for hours. I have so
Yes.
many boards just of
Late
shit
in the
that
midnight hour.
yes, and you'd be like, "Oh, you started this board 4 years ago, and I've been adding shit ever since." Have I
Try
done
like
anything
10.
with half of this stuff? No, except my recipes. My recipes
Yeah.
one, at one point when I got on Pinterest, shit, this is when me and Colin first started living together. I made a different meal like every day, every week for a year. Well,
I feel like
damn
I
it, every
remember
time I
that.
cooked something, I made a completely different thing. I did not repeat a meal for like a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
Pinterest was getting me right.
And I feel
Okay.
like, didn't you make like a cookbook?
Yes, I had a cookbook for him that I don't know where it is, that he ain't never cooked shit out of. He's just a taste tester. He is not there to cook nothing. If only I am in dire need, will he cook? But HelloFresh gives him instructions. So he can do
Okay, so yeah.
HelloFresh. HelloFresh, if you would like to sponsor us, we could place ad here. Ding. Like, I've been using HelloFresh all year, and
Mm-hmm.
I actually really do like it. It gives me different things, like things that I wouldn't even think to eat
Yeah.
this for dinner. You know, like some things like, is this a dinner meal?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but we gonna eat this shit for dinner anyway because this what we got.
I be getting
Shockingly,
my Hello Freshes from your mom's leftover Hello Freshes that she don't be cooking.
listen, when they be like, somebody take these extra meals. So HelloFresh, I really do like it. And I've looked into trying to switch to a different company, and I'm like, I don't like it.
They don't hit the same.
I don't like it. It's just like, even like the photos that they I'm like, this is what you're advertising, bitch. I don't want this. This look like dog food. I don't want this. Give me my HelloFresh. Yeah, it's not giving flavorful. It's not giving season. The shit look downright on some of these websites look like prison food. I cannot have that. Give me my HelloFresh, and
Yeah, no.
yeah, we're gonna stick with that. But welcome to episode 68. I think 68. Okay, period. 68 of Controversy and Chaos.
Yeah.
We're here.
Girl.
Go ahead. Let me get a random question because we have some things to get into.
Okay, so being that there's so much going on in the world, right? On the internet, in the courthouses, all these things, right? I've been lately like finding myself like trying to figure out how I feel versus like what is being said versus what like other people feel. It's just a lot going on. And it just made me think like, in my mind, I'm always saying people don't have morals. They don't live by a code. These girls are pick me's, all these different things, right? So I guess my random question of the day is, how do you feel like your morality and your belief system is built? Do you feel like it's innate, like how you actually feel? Or is it learned behavior that makes you feel the way that you feel or have the morals that you have? Because obviously we're not going to get into like, let's say, we're not going to get into the Diddy case because so much happens every day. It just is too much to cover. Too much. I will say that like where most people around me morally will be like, why the fuck would you do freak offs anyway? This, that, and the third. In my mind, I'm like, I don't really think freak offs are wrong. I think it's wrong to be whooping, beating, and doing the violence that he was doing. But I don't see nothing wrong with the freak offs and the baby oil. Get it how you live, player.
Yes. Like in that situation, from what we've heard so far, it's not what y'all tried to run with what motherfucking Jaguar Wright said. Throw that woman out the fucking window. Like y'all took everything that she said. Y'all took everything that she said and were just like eating it up, because it was just like what she was saying never made sense. So I don't know how it became so big. It's
just salacious and entertaining.
The comprehension skills are non-existent. So people can't decipher a lot of information. Like if somebody said, "Oh, I was saving girls from these freaking," really? You was saving these girls, but you ain't pick up that phone and call 911? Make it make sense.
When was you even able?
How would you even get in the building? That's the thing. Anytime that she ever
from
came
outside
out,
of the freak off, you can't even get
in. Girl, I was just like, when she was just like going on and on and on, I was like, this doesn't make any logical sense, but people are going to run with it because it's salacious, and we all know the diddler is guilty.
Right.
We know that video of Cassie. See, I don't need to see no more. I didn't need to see no more. I don't need this fucking case.
I mean, now, you have to prove. Well, I think the RICO has been proven.
Yes, from what we know so far, the RICO has been proven. So that's for court. However, morally, we've seen what we needed to see from him. We've seen it, and
we've been seeing it for years. Even with making the ban, we've been
seeing him being an abuser for years. And I think the issue is because I'm not that person that believes you can abuse someone and you just deserve to be written off completely from the face of the earth. No, I feel like if you are a person that is not remorseful and you don't understand nor acknowledge how your actions directly affected someone else, and you're not remorseful, you're not apologetic for those things, and you don't do better, then you need to be written off, because it's like you don't even understand, you just clearly don't give a fuck, and that's just who you are, and there's no more that anybody can be done. So this whole situation with Diddy, and I'll give you my actual opinion like outside of that, but outside of that, there's no more that I need to see. He is guilty of the RICO, guilty of everything else. Guilty.
Jail, under the jail.
Lock him up. Actually, take that. Take him back to the cell he was in. Put him back. Close it.
The roaches climbing on your face.
The roaches. Buenas noches. Buenas noches. Got to go. So it's like, in that sense, I understand it. However, to answer your question, I think when it comes to morality, I think it's a combination. I think it's things that you are innately taught growing up, and then you have your own life experiences, and you choose to either I stand with these morals, or I actually have my own personal outlook on life. And now that has changed. And I do think you can change things over time.
Right.
Because when you know more, or you experience things for yourself, you kind of, you have no choice but to see things differently, because now I can see it with my own two eyes. And now I can determine this is how I feel about the situation. But I think sometimes morals come down to things that you've been taught, and also feelings. Like, I just believe that you can feel when something is just wrong and just not
but
right.
Then, so this is why I be feeling conflicted, right? Okay. Let's use two of the male abusers that are known, right? Okay, so Diddy. There's no question to me whether Diddy is abusive, a monster, evil, all the things. Yes, he is. But when I think about, like, let's say DDG, and I'm not being a pick me, do I think him and Halle had a toxic relationship in which he was abusive or did things that were crazy or physically harmful to her? Yes, but I don't think he is I don't look at him and be like, I'm throwing him away, he's an abuser. Same way I feel about Chris Brown. I feel like it's very situational. And I'm like, I promise I'm not a pick me. I'm not. But I really be feeling like it's very situational. When I look at the Chris Brown Rihanna thing, I think of two people who were very young. Shit went left. Chris Brown was apologetic at the time for that. But now that we're years later, I don't expect him to keep coming and apologizing. Did him and Karrueche have a toxic relationship? Sure. But she never came out and said he physically abused her and did all these things to her. Were they toxic? Sure. But I don't know. I just look at it differently. I don't know. That's why I'm like, I be going back and forth in my head. Like, are these my morals and viewpoints, or am I just making different claims for different people based off how I feel about that said person?
I think it kind of be a combination. It's very difficult to do things when you like a person, or if you know a person, you do kind of look at things kind of sometimes with rose-colored glasses, just like, I just want to see, I want to see the good in you so fucking bad. And it's like, I do see that there is good there. Ever, you keep negating all of the good shit with all of the stupid shit you be doing.
Because even
that
think
be
about
kind
some
of
people that you might know in real life. Like, I'm trying to think, do I know any man that put his hands on somebody that I'm like, I don't hate him? I don't know. I can't think right now, but I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, if this was my little brother and I feel like I know my sibling's character, I don't think my brothers would ever put their hands on a girl. But if something was to ever happen and they decked a bitch one time, am I then going to be like, you're an abuser? Like,
yeah,
you know?
I mean, I think it's one of those things that you do have to call a thing a thing.
Yeah.
And you exhibit it. If that did happen, or whatever, it's like you did exhibit abusive behavior. That does not mean that you cannot grow and change from this, because if we want to be honest, then if that's the case, a lot of women are abusers.
Yeah.
If you done slapped your boyfriend, pushed him, any kind of thing, you are an abuser. If you would turn around and call him an abuser if he slapped you, but you get your shit off, and under the guise of, oh, I'm a woman, he can't hit me, then you are an abuser. If you are emotionally abusive to your partner as a woman, it doesn't mean just because you have a vagina, you can just do that. No, if you constantly put that person down, like, okay, get your dumb ass away from me. Like, you're constantly doing these things over and over and over and over again. You are verbally and mentally abusive. You are an abuser. And we don't like to call women out and be like, actually, a lot of you bitches are abusive. A lot of y'all get y'all shit off by putting your hands on people. People learn to, deal with their emotions and things differently. If you do something once, even if you do it a couple times, you know that shit is wrong. You know that it's wrong. If you don't consciously make an effort to do better, now this is who you are. This is who you are, because you don't even take a second to step back and acknowledge that what you did was wrong, and you inserted physical, mental, verbal violence against another person. You would be abusive. You would be. And it's just like, we got to call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you don't want to be labeled as an abuser, like, yeah, I've done things. However, I've grown, I've changed, I've been emotionally aware, I've grown up a lot more. You have to communicate.
Yeah.
I can communicate the things that I feel. And even so, the way that I communicate, I can't then communicate abusively. No, you need to use different words. Use your words. Get a vocabulary. Express how you feel. Seek personal help. Get some anger management. And I feel like a lot of times, like, as women, we want the grace that we don't offer. And it's another example of why we would never be the allegations. Like, we want the grace that we won't offer. Nobody in the Chris Brown and Rihanna situation specifically, because I think that was the first time, like, celebrity wise, that it was like, whoa, like, we know things. We know about damn Rick James and Tina Marie. Like, we know. But I think for our generation to physically see, we saw what her face looked like. Whereas previously, it's like, oh, we kind of be behind closed doors. That person puts on sunglasses. They, they wear their hair a different way, so you can't really tell. But that was like, there's no denying this.
Yeah,
we've seen it. However, even though this is what it is. However, both of them over the years have come out and explained, no, we were both equal counterparts in this. It's worse on Chris because you saw what her face looked like.
Right.
And I think that image is ingrained in so many of our minds that nobody will ever look at Rihanna and say, you're an abuser as well. If you bit someone, if you punched them, if you threw some of their shit away, if you spit on them, if you've done all of these different things, which she has admitted to, nobody's ever going to look at her and be like, you're an abuser as well. Nobody's going to ever say y'all are on equal playing fields. It's just not going to happen because it's the difference between, it's a double standard for men and women. However, this is apples to apples. We didn't see what he looked like. We haven't seen any of the previous things that they could have got into where he didn't do anything. If I slap you, punch, I'm just not stronger. I'm just not as strong as you. So you may not have bruised, but it doesn't negate that I did that.
Right.
You just don't show any physical signs of it, but I did that. So when it comes to just morality or how we treat and deal with other people, I base it off of what their response is. If you are willing to acknowledge what you did and hear from the other person of how what you did affected them, you also have to acknowledge the now trauma that you've inflicted on them and understand really how that is affecting them in order for you to be able to move forward. I know most times it's like kind of like a rehab thing, but it's like, no, you gotta, all the people that you've hurt, you gotta acknowledge that you hurt them.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, I'm sorry I hurt you. Huh? Or just be like, oh, I want to change, so I'm different. But I never acknowledged what I did to you.
Right.
You have to. That's the first step of being able to improve, which I think that everybody is capable of improving. If you are the same person that you were 10 years ago, that's a problem.
Oh, for sure. In all aspects of life.
In all aspects of life. If you're the same person that you were 10 years ago, that's a problem. You have not grown. You've done nothing. Everybody makes mistakes. And I hate that as a society, we pin people to one moment in their life. And we've seen time and time again that things happen so rapidly, so quickly, that it's just like, this is who you are. You're not allowed to do anything different. You are not allowed to grow. You are not allowed to change. Something that you did at 18, 19 years old, you could be 20 years later. You will still, in a lot of people's eyes, you're still that same person from 20 years ago. And it's like, but I'm not. But I've done so many other things. Like, I never did that again. So where do we get the grace? Where do we acknowledge that people have actually changed? And why is it only certain people are allowed to change? Everybody doesn't get the same thing. And I just feel like that's really fucked up. And I just feel like so many people stand on these morals, and it's just like, but really, do you really have any? Do you value anything? Like, morals change. People change.
Situations change.
You can adopt different morals along the way. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I believe this since I was 5 years old, so this is it. If you didn't learn it then you're just not going to. No, life teaches you different shit. Sometimes life knock you down and you be like, oh, I gotta do things differently. Okay, I view this.
You learned something. You lived a little life.
Yeah, you literally live and learn. We are all living life for the very first time. And we're all figuring it out in real time. So sometimes I think people's morals, quote unquote, really don't be on a firm foundation, because it's just like, okay, if you think something is morally wrong, why do you think that that's wrong?
Right.
Why do you personally think that that's wrong? Not because somebody else told you that that's wrong. Why is it that wrong? Why is that wrong to you? And if you don't have an answer, then really those aren't your morals. Those are someone else's that you're cosplaying as yours.
And I really feel like people be so ready to die on a hill that they really don't even give a fuck about. And I feel like that is the weirdest part about like consuming content in the way of like hearing people's thoughts and opinions. It's like, you really don't care about this, but you are standing big Balenciaga boots down on this.
Yeah. And it's
you
like,
always tell who actually cares and who doesn't care. Like, it's just like, why? I'm not going back and forth with you about this because you really don't give a fuck about this topic. Like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it's just like some shit is like, it's salacious up front. Like, you even mentioned like the DDG and Halle situation. That situation was crazy. It's like, sir, you got a lot of growing up to do.
That's
how I think that that's really the thing, is you have a lot of growing up to do. And unfortunately, for anybody in the limelight, they have to grow up in front of everybody. So everybody has a record of your mistakes. DDG ain't the first person to do the shit that he did. DDG ain't the first man or woman to break into their significant others, their ex. You know how many people done broke into somebody's fucking house?
That I know. Like,
hello? Like, done broke into somebody's house.
Yeah.
Breaking and entering. A lot of people should be charged with breaking and entering then, because it's not a unique experience. He's just young and immature in a situation where both of them, I feel like, are way over their fucking heads.
For sure.
And now y'all
definitely got into some
out.
shit that you more than what you bargained for. And that's why I feel like
what you bargained for.
We talked about them. Y'all can go on our YouTube and watch that too. And I still stand on how I felt when we recorded that. But to see how things have transpired since then, and people just calling him an abuser and like basically trying to throw him away, I'm like, whoa, I don't know if I feel that deeply about that. Like
he's what, 24, 25?
No, he's 27.
Oh shit.
She's 25. He's 27.
But even in the grand scheme of things, let's just say everybody
I'll be thinking about it.
Lives
I'll be thinking about it like this. Think about our life, our friends, and people that we know in our day to day who experience baby mama, baby daddy drama and all the above. If that's the case, half of my family members and some of my friends, I shouldn't be cool with y'all if I'm going to throw them away. Like,
if we don't throw that way, if we don't throw that person away kind of time, then baby, it's just like shit. I'm gonna have to throw myself in the garbage. Throw me away. I'm gonna have to throw myself in the garbage because I have done shit.
Boxed the man out before.
Hello, like I have done some shit that I'm not proud of. I don't do those things till this day because they're wrong, and you have to grow and realize this is not a proper way to communicate. This is not a proper way to
handle your emotions.
To handle your emotions. Sometimes if you feel like I'm feeling like if you come over here physically, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. I'm gonna walk away until I calm down and I don't feel that way anymore. Then we can have a dialogue. But you have to be emotionally mature enough to be like, I feel that brewing up in me that I want to slap the shit out of you because I'm that fucking upset. Walk away. We don't need to have no conversation right now. Don't invade nobody's personal space. Just back up. Back up, and then we can address things at a later date. If people really were honest with themselves, they are holding people that they don't know to a moral standard that they wouldn't even hold themselves to, or hold their best friend, their mama. You don't even hold the people in your personal life that you actually can reach out and touch. You don't hold them to the same standard. So honestly, why the fuck do you give a fuck about what these celebrities be doing? These people you will never, ever, 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 ever meet. Ever. You don't have a relationship with them. You don't fucking know them. You live vicariously through them on the internet.
Yeah. And I feel the same. Like, if you're not going to hold the people that are actually in your life accountable for some of these same behaviors,
or yourself,
we should not be that up in arms about what some of these people are doing.
Yeah. Everything in life, everything is situational. Everything is situational. So, yeah.
Thoughts and prayers.
Hello? TNP. That's it. But yeah. Okay, so actually my topic for today is kind of a little bit in the same realm, kinda, maybe. Okay, so I wanted to talk about, like, as married people who are in committed relationships, soon to be married, whichever. How do you feel about married people hanging out with single friends? Because you know the whole thing, like birds of a feather flock together. Like if you got a hoe friend and you hanging out with her, then you a hoe too. And now that you're married, is you a married hoe? Like, it's one of those things that I
think at the end of the day, the day is going to end. But I feel like it depends on where in your marriage you are. Prime example, right? When we were going through our premarital counseling and everything, Bishop told us during one of the sessions, like, yeah, when you're married, friends don't matter. And that offended me because y'all know I take my friendships very seriously. Like, my friendship, that is my family. Like, what you mean I'm not going to care about my friends? And when we talked about it more, obviously in my head, I was just like, no, I'm never going to be one of them wives that like only want to hang out with married people or don't hang out with my friends because they're not married and blah, 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 blah. But now that I'm 4 years into the game, correct? Right?
Which is crazy.
I know.
Like 4 years? What the fuck?
4 years, 2 kids, Understand, although his outlook and the verbiage he used was very extreme and old school, I feel like how I now interpreted that, because I still go back to my premarital book sometimes, because I be wanting to like, okay, like how did I feel then versus how I feel now, right? I'm a thinker. So I feel like although I still cherish and care about my friendships, I am now at a point in my life where, like, if it's outside these 4 walls, I really can't give you that energy to give a damn. My day to day, I have enough going on. Obviously, I'm going to be there to support my friends, do all the different things. But I feel like as someone who was overly accessible to their friends, now being married and building a family, it's like, I can't give y'all that energy. Not y'all, but like I can't give people that energy. One, that's not even reciprocating that energy and pouring into me, number one. And number two, I can't continue to deplete myself so that my friends feel better or secure. And now I'm sitting here like drained and tired. And that's now affecting my household. Like, I get so many calls every day. One day, Matt told me we was looking through our phone list for, I don't even know why, but now we on the same phone plan because we doing grown up things, right? My call logs for 1 month was 12 goddamn pages for 1 month.
I know I filled up at least a page.
Probably more. His call logs were only 3. I was embarrassed. Okay. I said, oh, I talk too much.
Me? Like, is this me? Are you sure? And, did you use my phone to call a couple people? Because I don't understand.
And granted, being that like I do work from home, I spend a lot of time at home during the day by myself. That's the time as a friend, if you want to reach me, that's when we could talk. Because after 6 o'clock, if you don't want to hear my child in the background screaming, me cooking dinner, or my husband randomly talking to me like I'm not on the phone, then we can't talk. And I found that my friends that aren't married or don't have children, they can't take that. And that's when I become like, well, bitch, I guess we ain't talking. Because what you want me to do? My voice cancellation is on. My voice isolation is on. But this is my real life. After 5-6 o'clock, I got responsibilities. I'm not going to be able to be on the phone with you, keying it up about the bullshit of that really has nothing to do with me. I'm sorry. That's just my reality. So now that I'm in this space in life, I understand now what he was trying to tell us about prioritizing our friendships and our marriage and our household. Because back then, I couldn't fathom the idea that, like, what you mean I ain't going to have time for my friends? I'm not going to be one of them moms and wives that's just so about their family. Like, that's how I interpreted the immaturity at the time. Mm-hmm. But now being in the thick of it, that's how I think about it. So circling back to your question, I do feel like for me, it is important to have my identity outside of my household. And I do feel like I do have friends that are unmarried or live a completely different lifestyle than me. And I do enjoy my time with them, being able to like see their world and still be comfortable in my world. But I do think that it's important for married people to have married friends, because if you want to go and talk to somebody about things that you have going on, I'm not going to talk to someone who doesn't experience what I experience and allow them space to give their opinion. Because it's like, all right, you don't live my life. Like, mind you, I don't just be going around bashing my husband, but I'm not going to call one of my unmarried friends and be telling them my marital business. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The outlook and perspective is not the same. And I do think you have to have friends that you relate to on certain things. Like, I understand people having mom friends where it's like all we have in common is that we're moms and we talk about these kids. You know what I mean? Or like women who want to be friends with women that are married because there's certain things and conversations that you cannot have with single people. Like, it just is what it is. I don't think you should isolate yourself to one or the other, but I think it is important to have friendships with people that, you know, you can relate to in that instinct. I don't believe the whole birds of a feather flock together thing, because trust me, even before I was married, I had some hoe friends. No, I wasn't hoeing. I was watching you, not you, but I was watching them hoe.
I wasn't that hoe friend.
You wasn't a hoe. He wasn't a hoe friend. But I'm saying I was watching them hoe. I was getting the story time. I love story time, bitch. Whether it's my friend or people on the internet, I love a story time. Give me the tea. I want to
tell me about your horror ways.
I want to know. I want to know. And I think that's fine. Am I going to go do those things that you did? Absolutely not. I don't judge you for it. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And when it comes to, I feel like I've been talking for a long time, but I have a lot of thoughts on this topic, obviously. And when it comes to girls' trips and things like that, like, you can definitely travel with your single, unmarried friends. And I feel like it just goes back to the dynamic of your relationship. I know my boundaries, and that's just what it is. If you're an easily influenced bitch, and as soon as your man not around, you can easily become a hoe. That's just like a man DMing you. Like, if you're married, you're not going to give a fuck and read that DM. But if you're a woman that's on her fucking Aisha Curry shit, you want a little attention, you might. It depends on your personality and who you are. I said a lot, sorry.
Wholeheartedly concur.
Yeah.
I concur. Because it's just like, and I feel like in this instance, a lot of sometimes men, they do it a little bit easier. Like, women, we're very communicative. Like, actually, no. Because I tell Colin all the time, like, I might be physically on the phone, but y'all being in a parties chat, y'all little PlayStation chat, y'all niggas is on the phone. Like, yeah, this is the same. Y'all are on the biggest fucking group call ever. So
just because you got a headset on, like, you're on the ultimate phone.
Y'all are bumping them gums. Okay. In between playing, like, I don't ever want to hear that men can't multitask, because the way I see this nigga multitask every fucking day, he do 15 different things. They having so many different conversations. Then somebody is playing a game, and I'm like, how are y'all focusing on the game? Y'all trying to do this. Then y'all talking, y'all playing music. He looking at these damn fish. I done asked him to do something like, excuse me, this trash need to go out. I need you to unload this dishwasher. Like, make this shit happen. Running back and forth to the TV.
He be having the nerve to have 4 screens up. How the hell?
Girl, working, doing all kinds of things. Like, men can multitask. I guarantee you. If you just watch your man throughout the day, like, don't say nothing, just watch all the things that he do, them niggas can multitask real good. don't fall for it. Don't fall for it, because they can do it.
They can
real easily. But yeah, it's just like that's their equivalent of being on the phone. They will have their conversations sometimes. Something might happen, and it's just like, you know how just like even with girls in groups, it's like I might have peeped that somebody said something, or I didn't really like the way that they said that. So I'm gonna call this person on the side and like, what's up? Like, I'm not gonna call you out in the group because I peeped that your energy is a little shaky. Off. You could either be hostile, you could be sad. Something's going on. You're not at your baseline. So I need to pick up the phone and I need to, what's up? What's up? Yeah, like men do the exact same thing. They just do it in a different way. What? And it don't last as long. Like we could talk about this shit for 3 fucking hours. No man is gonna be on the phone for 3 hours with another man. They just gonna be like, okay, like I'm gonna check in on you, bro. I got about like a solid 45, maybe not an hour. I could listen to your story and get my points out and listen to your points in 45 minutes. We just do it in a longer form than they do.
Also more detailed. Like I want to know everything down. Yes, like, I want to know wearing, what the weather was, who else was there. Like I want to know everything.
Those things matter to us.
Yes.
If it's like, oh, it was a sit down conversation. Well, what side of the table were you sitting on? Like, right. Oh, okay. I need the details matter because I cannot give solid feedback if I don't have all of the compartments. If I can't close my eyes and visualize this, like I cannot. I need to be in the room. Okay, a fly on the wall for real. Literally. Is what we want to be. So that takes a little bit more time, but we're all getting to the same. We're achieving the same thing. Just going about it. We take the scenic route, and they take the express lane. Same thing where we get into the same conclusion. So I think it's just like you kind of just learn these things. Men do it quickly. We take a longer time to get around it. But you can have friends that are not married and it be just fine. It's all about really, I feel like, what you value and the respect that you have for your partner. And also the people that aren't married, like you could have whole friends, but if your whole friends don't respect the fact that you're married and off bucks, you can't do the same shit. You can't move and shake the way that they can. And really, if they respected you as their friend, they wouldn't even allow that.
It wouldn't even. They're not going to invite you to the foolishness. Like, I went on this dummy mission. I'm gonna call and talk to you about it later. Like,
like if you're going to hoe and this is your sole intent, you're not going, if you respect your married friend and respect that they're in a relationship, or even if they're not married, if they're in a relationship, I'm not inviting you on my whole excursions because this is what I'm going to do.
Unless that motherfucker give inclination that they still on that whole shit.
Yes. And that's the thing. If you kind of feel the vibe, either you have no respect for them or you really know that deep down, they don't have that much respect for their relationship, those things get tried. And it's just like, well, you told me he be getting on your nerves any fucking way. You told me that he don't compliment you. Y'all don't go out. You've been wanting attention anyway. So you might as well just fucking come. You don't have to do nothing, but you could come. It's like, even when that kind of rhetoric enters the conversation, that tells you everything that you need to know about the relationship on both ends.
Exactly.
So it becomes an issue. It becomes a birds of a feather thing when it's like both parties, this is really what the two of y'all want to do. Whether you as the married person, you've thought about it, you intrigued, you interested, you've communicated your interest to someone else and they're just providing you the platform. I'm just giving you the platform.
And at the end of the day, peer pressure as an adult is just a scapegoat. Like, you cannot be peer pressured, my dude.
Yes, like peer pressure as an adult, I don't feel like is real.
When it comes to falling in some draws, you can't be peer pressured into some draws. I'm sorry.
You didn't slip and fall on somebody's dick, and nobody's dicks, they didn't slip and fall inside of you. That just doesn't happen.
Sometimes sometimes it do just fall up in there. But
not with a stranger. Not with a stranger. That doesn't happen. I don't care. I have never been in all my days. I have been pissy fucking drunk. I have never in all my days. I've never kissed the wrong person. I've never gone home with the wrong person. Like that shit is just a cop out and an excuse. No. You have never been so inebriated that like you really thought you was gonna get that one off. No, ma'am, that's not.
I'm sorry. Blame it on the liquor is just
blaming it on the alcohol. Okay, Jamie Foxx. No, sir. No, sir. No, ma'am. That it didn't just it just happened.
And when people, specifically men, right? When men say like, oh, they cheated and it just happened, it's like, do you understand how many steps you have to take to get from point A to point B in cheating. Like there's I can count right now at least
there's so many opportunities to be like, this is not right. Like, nope. There's so many opportunities.
There are so many opportunities to be like, abort mission. Whoa, hold on. Slow down. I done got myself into something too deep. Like, how do you go
you got
from
too much dip on your chip?
How you go from looking, oh, I see something I like, to introducing, to flirting, to like before you eat, like to getting in the bed? There's so many steps you take before you get in the bed. Like cheating, no, like that's not a mistake or accident. I'm sorry, it's not an accident. You didn't just stumble upon that. You had plenty of times,
opportunity to say,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
this has gone too far.
So it's not an accident. That's why, like, when people cheat or go through things, they're like, oh, it was just an accident, blah, blah, blah. I would rather someone say, you know what, in that moment, I was not thinking about you. I did what I wanted to do, and that's fucked up. Like,
yeah, I would rather you just pull out the Uzi right now. Like, just get it out. Like, let's just say exactly what it is. Don't try to sugarcoat it, because it doesn't
what I wanted to do in that moment.
Feel better. Exactly. Yeah. Your partner was not the first thing that you thought about. So
yeah,
it is what it is. Just say that. Call it that. Don't make it something else. But I just refuse to believe that you have to abandon all of your friendships because you're married. I think it's just really, it all boils down to respect.
Mm-hmm. And boundaries.
It boils down to respect and boundaries. And really, the boundaries for you. If I know, girl, I know exactly what kind of time you want. I'm not even entertaining going nowhere with you. No, I'm not getting on a flight to no destination with you.
I'm going to call you. Give me the story. Give me
yeah, like it can't even be like I'm gonna just stay in my own separate place, because you're gonna be on shenanigans and bullshit from start to finish. So even if I don't go to sleep where you go to sleep, but the in between time, I'm still at fault, because
and it's like,
I'm still in the mix. I'm still in the environment when it's like, but you know, you really shouldn't. You shouldn't be there at all.
Because it's like, how you going on a 2-man when you got a man? How you being a wingman?
You can't be.
What are you winging? Unless you're not really trying to entertain the shits. Like, how are you going to finagle this situation?
You can't.
So I just wanted to be there for my friend. How?
No, at a certain point, like, no, I can't wingman. Like, you can't be like, oh, I got a friend for you. No, I'm not about to sit here and make conversation with your ass. No. Like, why am I chatting you up? This is going no fucking where. Like,
can you have friends? I cannot.
No.
Sorry.
Let me tell you, that is the most disgusting thing that niggas say. And it's so fucking repulsive. Every time I hear it, I just be like, ugh.
You can't have friends?
Ugh.
No.
You can't have friends? What? Bitch?
No.
No.
I got enough friends. I don't even like the friends I got. It's like, no.
And you don't want to be friends regardless. That's be the bullshit. Right. It's like, did you really think that shit was going to work? You can't have friends. We could just be friends. Nigga, suck my dick. No.
I don't even want you to breathe next to me. I'm sorry.
Like, just yuck. I hate that shit. That is the number one corniest thing that niggas say.
That and where's my hug?
Off me immediately. 13th reason. I can't. Off me now.
Yeah, I really thought y'all was getting y'all shit off with that one. That was crazy.
Yeah, no, I can't get with that. And honestly, I feel like this also extends to men as well. I think oftentimes like women kind of fall for the bullshit a lot. And really, I think women end up falling for the bullshit. Not even, actually, let me change that. Women don't fall for the bullshit. Women be intentively going to the bullshit. We know. We can peep when a nigga like us. We can peep when our significant other ain't really fucking with us. You know, when you have a wondering eye. Like, it takes so many levels, because we do a lot of things from a place of emotion. So we know. We already know what the lead up was.
When the shit that didn't bother me before, now all of a sudden it's like, ugh, I'm repulsed by you.
You know what it is. So when you go now, you asserted yourself in the 2-man, because that's really where you want to be in this moment.
And you didn't want to be there, because that's what you wanted to do.
You want to be there. And however not, it may be like, maybe the grass is greener over here. And a lot of times that's what it is. It's is the grass greener? And then when you find out that it's shit in that grass, it's shit and snakes in the grass, you like, now I'm too far gone. Now I got to put some lies in the mix to cover it up. Or now I just got to be outright and say exactly what happened. And now we in a different thing. Whereas I think men kind of fall for the bullshit. Like, because I don't think any man goes out and be like, oh, nah, he's single. I can't go out with him.
Oh, of course not.
Nah, he fucking mad, bitch. I can't go out with him. They don't that I don't think that crosses their mind.
doesn't
They're just
compute.
like that's my man. So cool. If he invite me out, I'm going out. Like I'm not doing shit. He doing shit. Regardless, I can definitely see how men get into the situation. They could end up on a 2-man and not even know. And just be like, oh, well, he was talking to them, so I'm just entertaining because he's trying to get with this girl, and I'm going home at the end of the day. I'm not thinking about this shit. I'm just making casual conversation. Whereas with women, it's a little bit
way more calculated. Yeah.
Way more calculated. And sometimes in those situations, even because women are calculated, women peep. They see that ring on your finger. And if you don't have it on, baby, it's a tan line right there. I see it. They see it. They peep and they know. And there's a lot of women who get off on just being with married men.
Or men that are spoken for.
Men that are spoken for. There's a lot of women that get off on that and plot on other men in order to get their agenda off. So it's like, you in a situation where, baby, it's about to get real sticky. Because you have already been plotted on at the dough.
At the dough.
At the dough.
And my thing is, like, I don't understand why women do that, because it's like, just because you see or perceive for him to treat this woman a certain way does not mean
it will never be you, sweetie.
It don't mean that.
It will never be you.
It don't mean that.
And it won't. It just...
So, I said it once, I say it again. It is what it is.
Misha, it's like, girl, it don't never work out that way. Ever. Yeah. I've never seen it work out that way. Never. So yeah, I feel like you can have your friends, but you got to have a hard line in the sand as well. And the second I feel like I will cut somebody off. If you disrespect my relationship, oh bitch, you have to go.
Yeah.
Because you don't have no respect for my situation. You don't have no respect for me. You gotta go. And sometimes people need to really call that shit what it is. Your friend don't respect you. And the longer you let the disrespect go on, then you're just reinforcing that you don't have to respect me.
And
or I don't respect me.
Yes. Sometimes people really just be trying to sabotage some shit because they jealous. For real.
Yeah. Real hard.
That's tea for me.
Sometimes it's just like you gotta exercise discernment and decide what's really, really, really important to you. If your relationship is the most important, especially like if you're married, it should be.
Yeah. Like, why would you not prioritize your household? Let's be for real. Why are you married?
But a lot of people don't, and I just be like,
weird.
I don't know.
Weird.
I'm like, oh, that's for them.
Y'all must be married for the aestheticus.
But yeah, I just feel like y'all should be friends who you want to be friends with, but have limitations.
For sure. And everything within boundaries.
Keep yourself out of trouble. If it look like trouble, it is. And just steer away. Like, don't cause no problems in your household from a person.
Because you're trying to be a girl's girl.
You're trying to be a girl's girl, or you just want to feel like, oh, I have some sense of my previous life, or you got to realize that your shit has changed.
No, what do girls say now? I want to have autonomy over myself. Girl, go ahead with that autonomy. Sorry. I'm just saying what they be saying.
That autonomy gonna have a lot of people balled up in a corner.
Sliding down the wall, some walkers.
Balled up in a corner, slide down the wall, and back in what I hear is the most disgusting dating pool ever.
Yeah,
and then you're gonna have lots of regrets, lots of fucking regrets. So just don't do that. Don't enter that situation, and because we have great single friends, and maybe it's a difference because it's just like a lot of the single people that we know aspire to be married, and it's not just like, oh, I'm not interested in that.
Right. Yeah.
Because I feel like there is a group of people that don't want to be married, and then therefore they don't even have any foresight. They don't think about those things.
And they also don't respect marriage.
And they don't respect marriage. So it's just like, you can't. And I also feel like judging people on how they treat their relationships is okay. Like, if you're the most unfaithful, unloyal person in any kind of relationship I've ever seen you be in, you the one I will not be alone outside with you. No.
Because I don't want to give anybody any ideas of nothing.
Yeah. Sorry. Please don't. So. Yeah.
Whew. All right. Well, that was 68. 60 great.
60
great conversation.
60 great.
Oh my God. We're literally almost at 70. Another milestone. Oh my God.
Another one. Closer to 100. Very excited about this. Yeah. So that was episode 68. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. All right. Bye, y'all.